Welcome to Co-op Radio 102.7 FM CFRO. This is Monday Brown Bagger. The date is March 2nd, 2009. My name is Reginald Angus Argue. Before I introduce our first guest, I want our listening audience to know the interview is not against an ethnical group of people. Rather, it will show how one nation has illegally manipulated and controlled another nation, while the masses in the U.S. are heavily fed censored news. With that said, our first guest is an American freelance journalist, Alison Weir, who has traveled throughout the West Bank and Gaza Strip in February and March of 2001. Alison found that what was being reported by the U.S. press was drastically different than the reality of the situation. After further research and reading dozens of books on this subject, Alison has also found U.S. press was significantly at odds with the information coming from the rest of the world's press. Hello, Alison. Okay, it looks like we have we lost Alison, so what we'll do is we'll go over to our next guest while we wait to get Alison back on the line. But our next guest is Gemineye. He's a local hip-hop artist, an outspoken hip-hop artist, and that was his song right there. It's called Ambush. Hello, Gemineye.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. One question I have to ask, you're talking about Geronimo's skull in that song.
Yes.
I know that the great-grandson of Geronimo at this time is suing, not only suing Skull and Bones, but he's also suing Yale University to have his great-grandfather's skull given back to the family. How did the Skull and Bone and Yale University come in possession of the skull, and what ceremonies are the Skull and Bones using it for?
Okay, well, for starters, it was George Bush Jr.'s grandfather, Prescott Bush, and another member named Herbert Walker. And this is where George Herbert Walker Bush gets his name from. They were both tapped as Skull and Bones. Only 15 each year are tapped. I'm not quite sure the year on that, but as far as an initiation ceremony goes, the story goes that they both, and probably a few other people, entered the graveyard, dug up Geronimo's remains, and rumor has it the skull is sitting in the tomb to this day, still to this day. So I've heard that, I know that there's a new investigation going on, but I've heard in the past that people have been upset about it and they've been trying to get the remains back. In fact, I remember hearing that some remains were returned at one time, and they turned out to be animal bones. So completely disrespectful to the people that are trying to, get the truth out there and trying to get the actual remains back. But insane that that's even an initiation, or if that was just a separate account that those two decided to do, and the reasoning why they decided to take Geronimo's bones, like, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.